Assalamualaikum grade 9. How are you? I hope you are fine and I hope you have gone through my previous lecture on stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. ठीक है, Faiza Nadeem here with the second sequel of the same topic, Unit 8, Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. Unit 8 का second lecture today. क्या करेंगे आज? जानेंगे बोर्ड पे जाके. Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening is a poem written by Robert Frost. मैंने आपको ये बताया था कि इस पोएम की जो पोएम्स हैं आपकी बुक्स में उनके जनरली समरीज और पैराफ्रेजिंग आती है. ठीक है, पैराफ्रेजिंग पिछले लेक्चर में मैंने आपको पोएम रीड करके साइड बाय साइड करके दिखाई थी. ठीक है, आपका काम था उसको कॉपी डाउन करना. इन दोनों ऑप्शंस के 5 मार्क्स होते हैं टोटल. ठीक है, या तो आप समरी करें किसी पोएम की या आप पैराफ्रेजिंग. मेरे हिसाब से all the English language teachers over here in, I guess, Lahore, they will recommend you to write down the summary. It's easier. क्योंकि summary आप एक दफ़ा write down करेंगे, टीचर से चेक करा लेंगे, उसको रोट लर्न कर लेंगे, तो वो बिल्कुल करेक्ट हो जाएगी. Each and every stanza you will have to paraphrase first and then learn in order to prepare for your paraphrasing. तो उससे आसान आई गेस किसी पोएम की समरी करना है. ठीक है, अब समरी कैसे लिखेंगे? मैंने समरी के कुछ पॉइंट्स आपके लिए नोट डाउन कर दिए हैं. उन पॉइंट्स को आप अपनी कंटिन्यूस राइटिंग में लिखेंगे तो आपकी समरी कंप्लीट हो जाएगी. कैसे करेंगे? ये पॉइंट्स हैं. सबसे पहला पॉइंट इज अबाउट the poet, the author of the poem. ठीक है, Robert Frost was a famous American poet and he was born on March 26, 1874. पॉइंट मैंने लिख दिया है, सेंटेंस में कंस्ट्रक्ट करना आपका काम है. यह आपका फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ होगा about the poet, his style of poetry writing and the way he has written his poems for the reader. ठीक है, सबसे पहले रॉबर्ट फ्रॉस्ट की बायोग्राफी, इसका इंट्रोडक्शन. Next is Robert Frost wrote poems mostly about human psychology, or you can write that he was a poet known for writing for human psychology. ठीक है, ये इसका सेकेंड पॉइंट होगा. थर्ड, कंटिन्यूस राइटिंग में बेटा पॉइंट नहीं है, लेकिन each and every content that you write carries marks. इसलिए आपने इंफॉर्मेशन सोच समझ के ध्यान से लिखनी है. Third point that you can write in your first paragraph is his poems mostly consists of rural scenes and landscapes, homely farmers and the natural world. So Robert Frost has basically written about landscapes, farmers, rural areas and about the psychology, about their psychology, about how they go on for their work, about how they perceive things, how they perceive lives. This is your first paragraph. Moving on, we'll go to the next board. This is your second paragraph. ठीक है, in this paragraph you will write about the poem. You will start with it's a narrative poem. Narrate क्या होता है? Retell. The poet has gone through an experience in his life and he is narrating the experience for you. ठीक है, और one dark evening. Now this is the paraphrasing. ठीक है, अपने पिछले लेक्चर में जब भी आपने देखा है, कल परसों या जब भी अपने प्रीवियस लेक्चर में मैंने आपको पोएम रीड करके पैराफ्रेज करके दिखाई थी. ठीक है, तो यहां से आपने वो पैराफ्रेजिंग लिखनी है पूरी पोएम की. बिफोर द लास्ट स्टैंजा, जो फर्स्ट 3 स्टैंजाज हैं, ऑन अ डार्क इवनिंग द पोएट वाज पासिंग बाय such lovely woods where there was no fall. He was captivated, he was mesmerized by the beauty of the woods, so he stopped there for a little while. He knew that the owner of the wood was resting in his home deep down in the village, as he knew the owner, but he did not bother to go to the owner or to stop at the woods or to stop at his house to ask about his health or everything. Okay? He just stood there looking at the snowfall falling on the leaves, so on and so forth. Previous lecture निकाले और उसके बाद आपने ये second paragraph करना है. ठीक है, आपका third paragraph जो है वो ये होगा, that one could feel the wave of icy wings passing by one's body while reading the poem. ठीक है, सिंस द पोएम इज रिटन अबाउट द इवनिंग ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग विंटर्स, ठीक है, पोएम ने स्ट्रॉन्ग विंटर्स की इवनिंग को डिस्क्राइब किया है, तो इट्स गिविंग यू आइसी चिल्स, राइट। ये लाइन आप इंक्लूड करें अपने थर्ड पैराग्राफ में. द स्मॉल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इज सिंबॉलिक टू अ लार्ज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इन लाइफ. Okay, this is your third paragraph, which is relating to the fourth stanza of the poem. The fourth stanza of the poem, as I had explained earlier, spoke about the wider aspects of life. जिंदगी की एक बड़ी तस्वीर दिखाता है. वो ये दिखाता है कि जिंदगी में नो डाउट बहुत सारे ऐसे वक्त आते हैं जहां हम रुक के जिंदगी को एंजॉय करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमारी प्रॉमिसेस, लेकिन हमारे काम कुछ इस तरह से कि हम एंजॉय नहीं कर सकते. तो आपने ये वाला सेंटेंस, इट्स गोइंग टू हेल्प यू आउट, और इसी सेंटेंस की लाइन पे थोड़ी सी अपनी एक्सप्लेनेशन और देनी है कि द स्मॉल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इज सिंबॉलिक टू अ लार्ज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट इन लाइफ. वन पार्ट ऑफ ए सेंसिटिव रीडर वुड थिंक टू गिव अप हिज लाइफ टू एंजॉय म्यूजिक एंड आर्ट. ठीक है, गिव अप हिज लाइफ का मतलब है अपनी जो कमिटमेंट्स हैं, डेली की कमिटमेंट्स, उनको छोड़ दें और बैठ के सिर्फ जिंदगी को एंजॉय करें. ठीक है, he wanted to stay over there and enjoy, but he knew that he had miles and miles to go. Remember? But another part is aware of large duties and responsibilities owed, at least in part, to other human beings. But he knew that he could not enjoy that scene. He had to go miles and miles. So he knew he could not stay over there. He knew he could not relax. He knew he could not stay and enjoy the beautiful scene. ठीक है? तो the poet is telling others that everybody has a lot of responsibilities to go on. ठीक है? The speaker in the poem would like to satisfy both impulses. Last line में the speaker of the poem is satisfying both impulses. He is saying that he wanted to stay back and enjoy the scene, but then he had his commitments and responsibilities to fulfill as well. But when both come in conflict, he seems to suggest that promises must be given precedence. Precedence का क्या मतलब है? Preference. ठीक है, promises को आपने अपनी first preference देनी है. तो ये आपकी तकरीबन सारी समरी मैंने बोर्ड पे पॉइंट वाइज लिख दी है. आपने इन पॉइंट को कंटिन्यूस राइटिंग में लिखना है. यहाँ पे आके आपने पोएम की पैराफ्रेजिंग लिखनी है, जो कि मैंने अपने प्रीवियस लेक्चर में आपको बताई है. ठीक है, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट बोर्ड. आपके सब्जेक्टिव पेपर का पहला और दूसरा क्वेश्चन जो होता है वो सिनोनिम्स और एंटोनिम्स के बारे में होता है. ये सिनोनिम्स और एंटोनिम्स कहाँ से आते हैं? ये सिनोनिम्स और एंटोनिम्स आपके चैप्टर के बाद में आते हैं, वहीं से आते हैं. ये एंटोनिम्स आपके चैप्टर के बाद में एक एक्सरसाइज ए है, पेज नंबर 83 पे. ठीक है, मैचिंग है, मैंने सॉल्व करके इधर रख दिया है. आपने वीडियो पॉज करनी है, उसको सॉल्व करना है और इन एंटोनिम्स को पक्का पक्का याद कर लेना है. ठीक है, विलेज इज सिटी. समटाइम्स यू आर आस्क्ड टू अंडरलाइन द वर्ड एंड राइट इट्स एंटोनिम. समटाइम्स यू आर आस्क्ड टू गिव द एंटोनिम्स ऑफ द हाईलाइटेड वर्ड्स. ठीक है, मैंने ये आपको सॉल्व करके बोर्ड पे एक्सरसाइज लिख दी है, आपने अपनी बुक के अंदर उसको कॉपी डाउन कर लेना है. विलेज, सिटी, stopping, moving, snow, water, frozen, melt, darkest, brightest, sound, silent, downy, hard, deep, shallow. ठीक है, ये वो एंटोनिम्स हैं जो बुक में प्रेजेंट थे और आपसे कहा गया था कि आप इन वर्ड्स के एंटोनिम्स लिखें, जो मैंने बोर्ड पे लिख दिए. अब एक्सरसाइज बी, पेज 83. ठीक है, let me bring my tab. I'll read the question. Meanwhile, it's going to appear on your board as well. ठीक है, I'll read the question, I'll explain the question and I'll tell you what the answer is. Alright, ठीक है, ये एक्सरसाइज बी है. इसमें आपको एक टेबल बना हुआ है. उस टेबल में आपको चंद स्टेटमेंट्स दी हुई हैं और उन स्टेटमेंट्स को आपने उनके रिलेटिव जो आंसर्स हैं वहां पे टिक लगाना है. अब पहली स्टेटमेंट जो है वो ये है, इट इज अ कोल्ड एंड डार्क विंटर. अब इज दिस डायरेक्टली सपोर्टेड बाय द पोएम? यस इट इज. सो यू हैव टू टिक द फर्स्ट column. ठीक है, the next column is inference is based on some evidence from the poem. No, you don't have to tick over there. Third column is statement not supported by any evidence. No, there is an evidence in the poem which is directly supported by the poet. So you have to tick the first column. Your second question is, the speaker knows the owner of the woods. Yes, he does. It's described in the very first stanza. ठीक है, so it is directly supported by the poet. First column को आपने tick कर देना है. Inference based on some evidence from the poem. No. Statements are not supported by any evidence. No. So you will not tick these columns, you will only tick the first one. Let's move on to the third statement. The third statement says the speaker feels guilty about stopping in the wood. This is neither directly supported by the poem nor it's on the inference based on some evidence from the poem. It is a statement not supported by any evidence. So you will put your tick in the third column. There is no evidence of the fact that the poet was upset visiting the site. Next question is, the speaker thinks about the commitments and restarts his journey. Now this is an inference which is based upon some evidence in the poem, like when he says in the last that I have miles and miles to go. ठीक है? So this inference is based by some evidence. The next question is, the speaker is tired and wants to rest. There is no evidence for this. So you have to take the last column. ठीक है? The horse feels strange to stop unexpectedly. Of course, he rings his harness bell because he thinks it was queer to stand at that moment at that place. So this is a fact supported by the poem. Take the first column. The speaker appreciates the beauty of nature. Of course he does. He wants to stay back and enjoy. But he remembers that since he has miles and miles to go, he has to leave the place and go on. ठीक है? I hope कि आपको ये question समझ आया होगा. Moving on to the next question, which is on page 85, exercise D. ठीक है? This is an MCQ and you have to choose the correct answer. Although I wrote only the answers, but I want you to open the book and look at the other answers as well. ठीक है? The first question is, the poem is suggestive of profound thoughts about the reality of life and death. ठीक है? And miles to go. Remember, the poem presents a conflict between the obligation of life and the desire to escape from the duties of life. ठीक है? The obligation of life and the desire to escape from them. Option B. ठीक है? Is the correct answer. I hope कि आपने बुक्स खोली होंगी, आप बाकी ऑप्शंस भी पढ़ रहे होंगे और करेक्ट ऑप्शन को टिक कर रहे होंगे. Let's move on to the last board. After reading the poem, we get ready to face the challenges of life. Of course, the poet finds himself in an strange situation. Right? He finds himself in a rather strange situation, ठीक है? But then he had built up his courage, although he loved to stay back over there, but then he built up his courage and remembers that he has responsibilities to fulfill and promises to keep. The poem conveys to us only a profound thought. Huge thought. Wider aspect में. कि जिंदगी सिर्फ एंजॉय करने का, मस्ती करने का नाम नहीं है. जिंदगी में कमिटमेंट्स हैं, प्रॉमिसेस हैं, काम हैं जो हमने करने हैं. ठीक है? लाइफ इज शॉर्ट एंड वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क टू डू. राइट? सो इट्स गिविंग अस अ प्रोफाउंड थॉट. डार्क वुड्स सिंबलाइज डेथ एंड डिपार्चर टू अनदर वर्ल्ड. ठीक है? डार्क वुड सिंबलाइजेस डेथ एंड डिपार्चर टू अनदर वर्ल्ड. जैसे ही poet approaches the dark wood, that was his death. And the beautiful scene was life. अगर आप इसको और wider aspect पे देखिए. So the dark wood over here symbolized death. कि वो dark wood में enter हो रहा था. He was moving towards his death. And he wanted to stay back and enjoy life, but he could not because he had multiple tasks to do. Question and answers. Although poem के question and answers बहुत seldom आते हैं, but still we will do those question answers. ठीक है? Question number 1. Who's the speaker of the poem? The poet himself is the speaker of the poem. Question number 2. Did the poet know the owner of the woods? And when did he refer about him? So the owner of the woods is referred in the first stanza of the poem. Question number 3. What attracted the poet? He is attracted by the beauty of the scene. Question number 4. What did the horse feel when he was stopping over there? The horse felt that it was a strange place to stop by. There were no farmhouses, there were no houses nearby. So the horse felt that it was very strange to stop at that specific area. Question number 5. Why did the poet not stop long? The poet did not stop long because he knew he had multiple things to do. He had multiple tasks to perform and he had to go and fulfill his commitments. So that was today's lecture. We did the summary of stopping by the woods on a snowy evening. We did the question answers. We did antonyms. We did a few questions related to the text. With this, Unit 8 is completed. In the first lecture, we did the words translations, we did the paraphrasing, and we did the grammar part. Today, we did all the antonyms, we did the glossary as well in the first lecture. Today, we did summary, question answers, and the rest of the questions that lay over here. Now, creative writing question of both lesson 7 and lesson 8 are left, which we will do in the upcoming lectures. By that time, take care of yourself, be safe and study. Allah Hafiz.